now it's time to hand out some game balls. So we each hand out 2 game balls, one on the offense and one on the defense. Chase, I want you to go ahead and hand out your first game ball, and I'll let you decide where you want to start.
Yeah, we'll pivot and we'll go defense this time because I think this guy made a complete showing in the NFL. Right, he's had it a couple weeks. I'm giving it to Myles Garrett. Right, this guy dominated. You say what you want about that Browns game, right? I really do think the refs has helped them win 2 games in a row now. Right, they played good enough. This guy played good enough to win that game, though. He had 9 total tackles, 2 strip sacks, 1 tackle for loss, and a block kick. Right, we just talked about kickers suck. Well, he blocked the kick, so that's why they suck. But this guy was just dominant. We've seen a couple weeks ago he had that lineman following him around. This guy should be in the runnings for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, this might be Myles Garrett's year for it. He is dominating.
I think right now, so far, I'd pick him as Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. I think he's their front runner for sure. I mean, TJ Watt's been balling out, had an interception, stuff like that. But as far as like total game wreckage, so far there's been a couple of those games where Myles Garrett has been like taken over, and they lead one of the best defenses in the league. He was had that fumble that was a touchdown that they got a touchdown off of. So he was part of the reason why they won is because they needed that touchdown right to win. Like as you said, very very questionable play calling, or not play calling, refereeing, officiating there, very very bad. Like whenever there's just blatant missed calls or stuff like that, it's just or freebie. It's just tough. It's just not fun to watch when it's so like that. And it's just tough, but still, they're able to get the win. But my question is it's so weird because like the week before they shut out essentially the 49ers. In this week they give up, what was it, 40 points
30,
almost?
Yeah, 35 or 38
35
points.
to Gardner Minshew. Like the Colts could just move up and down all they want. So it's so weird to see how each week can change the NFL whenever you have these defenses that are like, this is an elite defense. They're held them, to the least amount of yardage and through 5 weeks of the season or something like that. And all of a sudden, Gardner Minshew goes in there, throws for 305. 305 yards, rushes for more too. Like he had a couple of rushing touchdowns and stuff like that. And they just really just kind of pretty much for the most part do whatever they want. The only thing that they did wrong, really, one, obviously had that missed field goal, the blocked field goal, and 2, that strip sack that led to a touchdown. Like if not for those 2 things, they win this game. But that goes to the point with the defense and Myles Garrett because he was instrumental in both of those. So game ball, well deserved, Myles Garrett. Also, love your last name.
Good call.
Let's stay defense. I'll stay defense, and I'll go ahead and do this to another guy. This is a guy, I'll be honest, I've never heard of this brother a day in my life. But it's going to be defensive back Cameron Bynum, if I'm saying that right. Cameron Bynum from the Minnesota Vikings. 2 interceptions, which is impressive. But not only were they 2 interceptions, but they were both interceptions on the very last 2 drives that the 49ers had. Right? 49ers, they just scored a touchdown. You have to get the ball back. 49ers are driving to get into, to try to take the lead. Right? Boom, interception. You get it. You do your little worm thing. And then, okay, awesome. Offense has like 4-minute drill. They have a chance to run out the clock. Maybe score a touchdown, maybe at least kick a field goal. You get down, they end up having to settle for a field goal, kick a field goal, miss it. You're like, oh no, the 49ers get another chance to start at the 40-yard line. 49ers get the ball, moving down the field, boom, boom, boom. Then Brock Purdy, boom, interception again. And who is it? Cameron Bynum for the game-sealing interception. So not only 2 interceptions, but 2 on the 2 final drives, the game sealer. You get my game ball.
Yeah, that's we've been talking about how kind of bad this Vikings defense is, yet that's back-to-back game-sealing interceptions that's rewarded game balls, with Byron Murphy getting my game ball last week. So maybe they're better than we think, or maybe we just I think we reward big plays in Minnesota. One thing they can do is on both sides of the ball, they can make those big plays. Right? They can't make every play that's needed to win a game, but they can make those big plays. That leaves the offense. I'm going with an undrafted D2 football player, Tyson Bagent. right? The quarterback for the Chicago Bears in a game that he had no business winning coming in there. I mean, honestly, this kid coming into this week had no business winning any game in the NFL, right? The NFL is a hard game to win. We just said every given week, right? But it's a hard game to play. There's superstars, Heisman quarterbacks that come in and can't play in the NFL. And this guy came in and won on his first start. 21 for 29, 162, a touchdown. More importantly, he did not turn over the ball, right? Leading to that win. Yes. So game ball, well-deserved, I would say. Just an incredible story to root for. Undrafted guy, free agent playing for a D2 school. Just congratulations. And he tatted up white guy. Like, you don't see too many of them tatted up white quarterbacks running around like that. So just a fun guy to watch.
It was fun. It was crazy because that was it was one of those things where like he didn't really help them win the game, but he didn't do anything for them to lose, right? He played a perfect type of game manager type of thing where he did just enough to get them win. I mean, Dante Foreman had a game, 3 touchdowns there, were able to run it in. Obviously, he made some plays and stuff, and so definitely you don't want to try to take anything away from him. But it was so going into that game. I like you never heard of this guy, right? Some D2 walk on, basically. And you're like, what the freak? I was like, leave it to the Bears to have a backup quarterback from D2, no name, school. Like you could even have like somebody like from an actual college, like to be the backup to Justin Fields, the D2 guy. But he showed up and showed out, and I think a well-deserved game ball. Like he was, I almost put him as my best of the week. Just because that's awesome, right? Get out there, be a nobody, right? We've seen plenty of nobodies coming, like Brock Purdy, right? Was a nobody, even coming from a D1 school, right? So more of a somebody, but still Mr. Relevant kind of nobody, what he was done. We know the story of Tom Brady, right? So there's plenty of people that have come in as undrafted and are able to make plays and kind of find a place in this league and play at a high level. So we'll see if there's just like I'm interested to see, like, is this like a one-off? Is you going to kind of get better on this? Like, what's it going to mean for like the future of the Bears? There's just so many questions. Like, is Batchin the guy? Is it really Fields? Are they going to move off with the number 1 pick? Like, there's just so many things going on here with this, and so I love a great quarterback controversy. So I'm rooting for Badgett here the next couple of weeks, so he can go in there and ball on and have some fun. It's a fun story to watch.
Yeah, very fun.
All right, my offensive game ball, kind of already touched on it, but want to give my props to Lamar Jackson. It's going to get my game ball. 357 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, another touchdown rushing. Really was just unstoppable. I mean, they didn't have an answer for him. They didn't have an answer for the Lions on defense at all for any offensive play that they ran. No. But this was I'm not on the train where I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, this is the Ravens team. They're the number 1 team in the league. Like this is blah, blah, blah. Like I'm not on that train because I've seen what they've played before. I think this was one of those more of a indie game. Like this is like if they show up to play 100%, like this is what they could be. But it also took the Lions to not show up at all for it to be like this. Like the Lions didn't put up a fight at all, right? So there's a lot of conflicting things there. Like Ravens showed up at 100%, Lions showed up at 0%. So you're getting the best of the best and you're getting the worst of the worst. So it's hard to look at that as kind of like a milestone in your season of that. So I'm not really into it at all. I picked the Ravens to miss the playoffs. I've seen what they've kind of been like throughout the season. I don't think this is really who they are as a team. I don't think this is the team we're going to get every single week. But got to give credit when credit's due. And so Lamar Jackson for balling out and just dominating every single snap, every time he touched the ball, is getting my game ball for this week.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are known to do this once a year, right? They're known to show up to the game that no one else shows up to, right? That MVP year, right? That was that week 1 where Tank for Tua Dolphins were going in, and it looked like they were actually trying to lose the game. Like Lamar could do no wrong. I think he only had to throw 15 balls, or he threw 12 balls for like 90%. Had one of the highest passer ratings. So Lamar and the Ravens are known to do this. It doesn't mean that they're going to walk to the Super Bowl, but respect. Lamar, you look great. Your wide receivers could hold on to the ball today. You didn't throw any interceptions, so congrats, man.
Yeah. No. Well, there we go. Those are our game balls. So let us know in the comments who you give your game balls to, right? Pick an offensive player and a defensive player.